Welcome to our Racquet Club Market Update. Today we're going to look at how much Racquet Clubs are selling for and is this a good time to sell. My name is Ron Wilstein and I'm a broker at Keller Williams Luxury Properties here in Park City, Utah. I want to cover three things on this webinar. Number one, we're going to give you a brief overview of the Park City market. Next, I'm going to ask Dean DeLeon to come on and to present recent sales and prices at Racquet Club. And then finally, we'll bring the entire team together and look at what you must know before selling in a COVID-19 market. All right, let's take a look at the Park City real estate market. As most of you already know, COVID-19 has created a real estate boom in Park City. Here are the stats. Over the past 12 months, there's been 2,166 sales in Park City. That consists of homes, condominiums, and vacant land. That's all real estate brokerages combined, and that is up 52% or 738 sales from a year ago. This graph here breaks down homes, condos, and vacant land. The red bars represents the period of time of March 2020 to February 2021. The silver bars represent the 12-month period right before that. You can see that the number of transactions is up in all categories. Homes are up by 52%, climbing from 551 sales to 839 sales. A 31% increase in condo sales to 990 from 754. And lot sales, oh my gosh, 174% increase from 123 to 337. So that is the real estate boom caused by COVID-19. This graph here looks at home sales, and we've broken it up into Park City and Snyderville Basin. 70% increase of home sales in the city limits from 183 to 311. And in the Snyderville Basin, a 43% increase up to 528 from 368. Condominium sales have climbed 37% from 341 to 466. And in the Snyderville Basin rose from 413 to 524. That's a 27% increase there year over year. Vacant land. Well, we don't have as much land here, but we have a 163% increase in Park City, climbing from 19 sales the previous year to 50 this current 12-month period, and a whopping 287 sales, 176% increase from the previous year of 104 for the Snyderville Basin. So it's clear from these graphs that in every category we are seeing the number of sales increasing, keeps rising. Now let's take a look at prices. Prices here we're looking at homes, medium sold prices, and in the Park City limits the price year over year has appreciated by 35%. Climbed from 1,937,500 all the way to 2,623,750. A nice 28% increase year over year in the Snyderville Basin, climbing from 1,250,000 to just over 1.6 million. Condominiums, in the city limits, we saw a 35% increase from 768,133 all the way up to 1,035,000. Very impressive. We did see a drop in the Snyderville Basin of about 16%, and this is not an indication of values going down there as much as very limited inventory, and the inventory that was available was simply at lower price points, and therefore this is the reason for the drop. Here we're looking at vacant land, and a similar scenario here. In the city limits, a decrease of 14% from 1,004,000 to 1,002,000. Again, not an indicator that there's a lack of interest in the land in the city limits. There's simply a lack of land in the city limits, and what was available to sell was a lower value piece of properties. However, in the Snyderville Basin, we see something a little more consistent with the rest of the market. A 29% increase year over year, with the medium price going from 494,000 all the way up to 635,000. So again, the graphs are pretty clear. They are going up in most categories, and we saw increases as much as 35% over the previous year.
Wow, thank you, Ron. Park City market remains hot. Now let's take a closer look at the Racquet Club condominiums specifically. The number of condo sales in the Racquet Club are down 42% over last year's number of sales to 7. For the previous year was at 12. We like to use the absorption rate to predict how long it will take future sales to sell compared to the previous 12 months. Rack Club condos are selling at a pace of 1 every 52 days. There's currently 1 condo on the market in the Rack Club, which equates to a 2-month inventory. Of the sold properties over the past year, they have ranged from $632,000 to $699,000 with a median sold price of $676,000, a 20% increase over last year's values, which were at $565,000. Big double digits there. If you'd like to know more details about what has recently sold in the Racquet Club, Ron will show you how to get that information whenever you wish. Back to you, Ron.
Let me show you quickly how you can get sold data on your Park City property anytime you want. We're here at BuyParkCity.com. You simply want to go up to the Markets Report button, click that, and you'll see the very top of the screen, click here to receive sold data. Click on that and this form will open up. Let me get out of the way. This form, it starts out and it's already pre-checked. Email me sold data for the neighborhood or condo listed below. If you happen to want a market update on your particular property, just click that box. If not, leave it blank. Down here it will say neighborhood or condo name, and in this box you just either type in your property address or your condo name and unit number, and then below you simply fill out the information, your contact information, your email, of course, so we can send it to you. And if you have any additional questions, you can put that in the contact box. Click the submit button. It will come to us. We'll email you out the information you requested. It's just that simple. Now let's turn our attention to selling and what you need to know if you're considering selling your property in this COVID-19 market. To do so, I'm bringing the team together, Dean DeLeon and Jeremy Wilstein, and together we're going to discuss this. All right, guys, let's talk about our hot sellers market. There's lots of different sellers out there. There's those who have lived in Park City a long time and either want to upgrade or downgrade, but stay in the area. Then there are sellers who own second homes and they want to cash in on this hot market and put their money elsewhere. Or there's folks who have investment properties that they may or may not use, but represents an income opportunity. What would you say to them in light of today's opportunities for sellers?
Yeah, well, first off, what I'd say to them is congratulations for being part of this amazing market and owning a piece of real estate here in Park City, being able to enjoy it, and geez, just taking advantage of this great appreciation we've seen. So you're in a great spot wherever you're at. And you mentioned, I'll talk about the people that have owned real estate here in Park City for a long time. Maybe they raised their kids here and the kids have since left and they're deciding, hey, maybe we don't need such a big house and, maybe we can downsize a little bit, and hey, we don't need to be right in Park City. Maybe we can move out of town a little bit and, have the ability to sell their property in such a great market, get a very, very good price for it. And then, maybe roll their equity and buy a property outright, maybe in the outskirt areas, Camas, Heber, Colville, and or have a very small mortgage on it and transition more into the retirement years and be very comfortable. So with those sellers, I mean, what a fantastic opportunity to make that transition and make that move and really improve your quality of life and decrease the financial burden that you have on your property.
Yeah, to reiterate what Jeremy said at first, I mean, every conversation I have, if I'm out of town, at the gym, at the store, or whoever, I see somebody I know that I've known for a long time living here in Park City, knowing that I'm a real estate agent, but a lot of conversations that I hear are, wow, look at the Park City market. prices, this is insane. The prices are going up, and everybody's just super excited, right? Because they're in the market, like you said. And a lot of times, for those that I'm talking to personally, they ask me, I want to sell, Dean, but where am I going to go? Right? Which is a good point, because there's limited inventory right now. But they do still have the opportunity to sell, get the equity that they've been building in their home for the past 10, 15, 20 years. And then, like you said, Jeremy, roll it over into a similar comparable property in Park City, or upgrade and then ride the appreciation, which we expect to continue in an upgraded house and at a higher number. 10% at 2 million is more than 10% at 1.5. So you just step up your basis there.
Yeah, and some people say, "Oh God, I want to sell and cash in, but everything else is so expensive." And it's like, well, but you've been on that ride and increasing the value of the property you're going to sell, and you're just making that move into the new property that will continue to appreciate. So I wouldn't shy away from trying to sell if your goal is to, either get into a bigger home, a nicer home, or get into a smaller home, whatever it is. You're still part of the market, and if you sell and purchase another one, you haven't left the market. You're still in it.
Right. If you were going to choose problems, this is a great problem to have as a property owner. Your property has gone up in value. It's giving you the ability, if you want to, it's your property. You don't have to sell it. You can stay in it however long you want and use it. But it gives you the opportunity to cash in and to pursue other dreams, whether they're real estate related, and they might be, or whether it's travel, or it doesn't really matter. This is really a key time to seize the opportunity. We're midway through the ski season. We've got excellent snow. And when it comes to properties that particularly sell during the ski season, whether they're rental properties or second homes, a lot of those folks who are here right now enjoying Park City can get into the properties, and they're eventually going to head home. And late in the season, they often don't return unless it's a summer trip or next ski season. And so, as a seller, you want to seize that opportunity if that fulfills your goals and your next steps in life. And there's a little bit of talk now that the vaccine is now being delivered, which is terrific. There's the site, we have our sights on things returning to normal, and whether returning to normal may represent a bit of a slowdown remains to be seen. We've got limited inventory, we're aware of that, but a lot of people move to Park City because they want to have the alternative lifestyle, particularly in the midst of the pandemic. So I expect our market will continue to be hot, but it certainly is a great time to cash in. And if that's right for you, you ought to do it.
Yeah, no, it's a good point, Ron, to talk about the vaccine and this transition. And it feels like we're getting through COVID, and we're starting to see maybe a light at the end of the tunnel. And so much of this market appreciation that we've had was stemmed primarily by COVID. So at some point, when COVID isn't so top of mind and the escaping from the big cities, people are going to eventually start moving back there, as probably prices are better real estate wise in the city. So people are going to start investing there as well. So if you're thinking about selling and you're like, well, but I think this market's going to run, it may run, but I don't see it running like it has been. And there's such high emotional value from buyers right now that they're willing to pay a higher price for the property. And, once COVID isn't so much of a factor, people are going to start looking at market valuation as opposed to this emotional, this is lifestyle, I need to, protect my family. And I think we're going to see a bit of a slowdown in terms of just these crazy prices we're getting.
Yeah, I think, with what we're seeing, and it's tough, right? None of us have a crystal ball. We might see a bit of a slowdown as far as the extreme price appreciation that we're seeing. But I don't really anticipate our market slowing down or decreasing here in the near future, to what you were saying. I think people keep their homes here. I still think working from home remains a normal for a lot of businesses, not going back into the office. People are saving, a lot of businesses are saving a lot of overhead on office spaces and still super productive with their employees working from home. Their employees are very happy working from home because it's not as confined to space. I mean, I enjoy coming into the office every day. Not everybody enjoys that. And so everybody's a little bit different, but it gives you the ability, again, to live in Park City, which a lot of people prior to COVID, if you're looking at those people that do live in Park City and aren't business owners here or commuting to Salt Lake, a lot of people had the ability to work from home. And so I think that is a big factor. And if you need to go on a business trip, you're still just 30 minutes from the airport. So none of that changes, which I think keeps our market strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't suggesting that the market was going to drop or flatten out, but it's going on a feverish pace right now. So
right, yeah, I understand.
I also think we look at statistics a lot because they can be early indicators of subtle changes. And one thing we have seen or experienced in negotiating transactions is buyers agents coming in and trying to negotiate a better price for their clients and using days on the market as an indicator. Now, historically, Park City's days on the market in a normal marketplace, if it was 2.5, 3 months, far exceeded the national averages. So that was very good. Now they're kind of going, gee, your property's been on the market for 20 days and it hasn't sold. What's wrong with it? Like, oh my gosh, there's nothing wrong with it. But you can tell that the buyers are trying to resist. They want to buy the property. They're paying top prices, but they're trying to point to a slowdown. Not that taking a month or a month and a half compared to 3 months is much of a slowdown. It really isn't. But it's an early indicator of positioning. And that's what the market is always doing. That's what we always encounter when we're negotiating on behalf of buyers or sellers. So it's interesting to see that as opposed to, gee, it's 1 day on the market or 2 days or whatever. They're picking on less than a month. It's crazy. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. If you're part of our listening audience, reach out to Dean, to Jeremy, to myself. I'm going skiing, so I got to get out of here. But we're here to answer all your real estate questions and to enjoy Park City. If you're thinking of selling your property before the end of the current ski season, now's the time to act. We only have about a month and a half left. So reach out to us, give us a call at our number, 435-487-0151, or send any one of us an email, and we're happy to assist you. This is indeed a very rare market opportunity we're looking at, and so it makes sense to find out for yourself if this is the right time to sell. We'll provide you with a current market update about your property, talk through the issues, and then you'll have what you need to make a good decision. Don't forget that each and every month we have our Park City Market Talk webinar. You can go there and watch the last month's webinar or go to our website where we have them all archived there, and very good information. Here's a direct link to them, and they're there for your entertainment and education. Thank you for participating in our webinar. Be sure to bookmark BuyParkCity.com /Racquet Club for updates at any time.